Okay. And we're live on Facebook, so go ahead and share out and stuff if you got your shares going. We're going to jump right into it. We don't want to waste a lot of time tonight. We're a little bit late, so let's get going. We're going to start the theme music. We're going to start the show. Here we go.
Shout out Facebook Live. Revolution Radio. Diane is in the house. Can you see her?
Okay.
I like this nice basement feel.
Good evening, everybody out there. Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube, Justice 360's page. Everybody is hanging out here on whatever live stream you got going for NJR Live. I'm Brian Powers, and I'm here with my partner, Diane Moxley. We come at you every week to talk about activism and arts, and tonight combines those two elements really, really perfectly. So I'm excited to get started here. Diane had a very exciting weekend that I've been following on her personal Facebook page. Pictures with the Jamu Baraka and a lot of people that I know we look up to. I look up to personally, and a lot of our comrades around NJRR look up to. That's an exciting weekend. Oh, that was an exciting weekend, huh, Diane?
Yeah. 3 days of conferencing with United National Anti-War Coalition. They had their conference in New York City this past weekend, and I was able to participate on Saturday. I was honored to be on an opening panel on Saturday morning and a workshop throughout the day. The theme was Rise Against Militarism, Racism, and Climate Crisis, Building Power Together. So our Saturday morning opening panel was about what can we do to bring so many of the different groups on the left together? How can we help each other grow, and acknowledging that so many of our struggles are connected. So we need to work together to grow this mass movement.
That you yourself gave a little bit of a presentation. Does video of this exist? Because I was trying to keep up. I was kind of, I told you it was my wife's birthday this weekend. So it's hard for me to, stay married and pay attention to the world of politics. And I tried not to combine the things, although I got to admit, I dipped into it a little bit. But did you get at recording or something? Are we going to be able to see this wonderful presentation, or do you have to give us the gist of it here on air?
There was live stream.
Okay.
For the panels throughout the weekend. And that should be on the UNAC Facebook page. We could see if we could find that while we're talking.
Yeah.
Creating interference.
Live radio.
Is that what it is? That's what's giving me the buzz there.
Uh-oh.
Are you selling around? Is that what it is?
Am I what?
I'm hearing a little buzz. I'm telling you. I can feel now it goes away. Did you stop searching?
Nope.
That may be it sometimes when you put a
I think it was too close.
That might be in your head. I don't know. We talking about getting buzzes, Brian.
He's just hearing things.
Too many bees. I think those buzzes.
Justice Rountree is sitting into waiting for his part here in a few minutes. He's having a good time.
This Facebook Live was good. How y'all doing?
Yeah, man. We're excited to have Justice, a guy we've been working with.
She's a fighter. The Rocky theme music.
Okay.
Play that for Diane.
Back to UNAC.
We should change our theme. I like that.
So give us some highlights of UNAC, because we're gonna talk to Justice in a few minutes, but let's hear some highlights from your overseas journey to the.
Sure. Like I said, our panel was about bringing movements together so we can build and grow together. Then I was on a workshop that was about militarism and the degradation of the planet. And the thing I like best about going to these conferences is when we are in this world of just absolute chaos, so much fighting and turmoil, like the shit show.
Yeah.
Was that last night? Because I actually purpose. I went to bed before 10 last night
Like
because I said,
the debates and all that.
yeah. I said, I'm just not going to watch because if I do watch, I can't fall asleep till like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I need to be up early most mornings.
Yeah.
So in these times of constant chaos and, you know, watching the Democratic Party be hijacked by the millionaire right-wing pseudo-democrat.
Millionaire or billionaire?
Oh, you're right. Billionaire.
Yeah, many times.
Zillions and
What's
billions.
he worth? Do you know what he's worth by chance? Is it 70 billion? It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Nobody
like
should have that much money.
100. What Bernie said during the debate was true.
Okay.
120 million people have as much money as him.
Wow.
120 million people.
That's wrong.
He's one dude.
Yeah. That is
it's obscene.
Greed at its worst.
It's beyond anything I could imagine as far as greed.
Yeah. That means you're not paying your employees enough, and that means you're not participating in charity like we probably care more
in
humanity.
You know, that's what it's about. Humanity. Like, where's your moral position at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have no morals.
And he's made comments in the past, and I think the one comment that stuck out, and I saw it in a meme, so let me just precursor by saying I'm not going to sit here and say it's from a verified source,
okay,
but it's believable because of the other shit I've heard him say from verified sources.
Okay,
but it was like, if you want to motivate your people, simple, they're addicted to 3 meals a day. In other words,
what?
Yeah, they're addicted to 3 meals a day.
What happened?
That's what he said. He said, in order to motivate your people, remember that they are all addicted to 3 meals a day. So that's how you take.
Who said that?
But the man that's going to be our overlord and ruler, benevolent dictator, Mike Bloomberg.
Oh, Michael?
Yeah. Who else would say that?
So he's just getting ready to use and exploit the.
So what he's saying, like,
country.
what is he trying to say? Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly.
I took a poet to think of that, right?
Yeah, it's it.
Yeah.
You know, I 1 Trump, 2 Trump, red Trump, blue Trump.
Yeah.
The same dude, only one dude. And Bloomberg was a Republican. Bloomberg, you know, I mean, what a mess.
They all look the same to me.
Yeah. I kid you not.
I'm sorry.
They all look the same to all of us, brother.
I know. It wasn't,
I'm just saying.
That wasn't a racial thing.
But it
is a racial thing. Unintentionally.
It's no. I disagree that it's unintentional.
Listen, they all look the same to me.
But it's intentional.
They all come from the same class. They all greedy. None of them have any empathy for people that look, you know what I mean? Anybody like me, if it smell like a duck and look like a duck, they all quack together.
For listen, we could put politics aside for just 1 second, because I'm not a fan of Cory Booker and I never will be. All right? I know you want, but put all these politics aside. That man wanted to stay in the race, and they said, no, you don't have enough donors. You can't stay in. Bloomberg came in and said, I got a whole shit ton of money. Can I be in? Oh, Mr. Rich White Man, let's make some new rules up so you can come in.
Yeah. How
come those rules weren't? And this is not an original question,
right.
but it's a fit. Let's pull all our hatred for Cory Booker in New Jersey back for just 1 second.
I don't have no hatred for him. I don't want you to know.
I dislike him.
I'm on record. I don't have no hatred for nobody.
Dislike him strongly. I don't know him personally. I dislike his politics immensely. All right?
They're all funny to me.
Yeah. And that's how I handle politicians, because I ain't never going to be friends with Cory Booker. Me and him ain't going to be out for dinner with Rosario Dawson anytime soon.
I have no hatred for nobody.
So, but what I'm saying is that we wouldn't change the rules for a black dude, but white man with a lot of money. It didn't take but 5 minutes for them to decide to change the rules for him.
But that's regular though, isn't it?
For billionaires.
For billionaires,
it's regular, because we also had Mike Gravel, who they didn't want him in, even though he kept on just grazing near those hurdles he had to get to, because he was at least presenting as anti-imperialist who was going to challenge all the candidates on foreign policy. We had Tulsi Gabbard, who is a woman of color, who was just barely getting to those hurdles. They wouldn't let her in. They wouldn't just dip things down a little bit for her. But if you have billions and billions, self-fund your own election, and
it's capitalism, right?
Yeah,
that's how. Cash rule everything around me.
That's it.
Honestly,
we are ready to jump into what you do in Newark and surrounding areas and all around North Jersey. So what I'm going to ask is my partner Diane surrender her headphones.
Yes.
Because we're going to play a little.
Stuff. You don't have no music for this?
Got a little stuff in the background.
This is the passing of the torch.
What I'm saying is, but I'm going to hop out in a second because the next segment is all Diane's. All right.
Okay.
But we want to hop into a little bit here.
So we're doing.
I want to put the headphones on, get them on there.
Our screen changed here.
I know you're seeing. You're seeing what I'm screen sharing. This is what we got going on here at Revolution Radio. Can screen share and we can do all kinds of all while a little stoned. There you go. All right, here we go. Now you recognize this. You recognize it?
Oh, so you're doing some.
This is a clip from 360 Poetry Night. This is Chant. She's so North.
Oh,
shout out Chant, she out of state right now. Shout out Chuma on the strings.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Here come. We're gonna listen.
Gotta hear this. Cation. This play. Sharp James, bars.
Yep.
Oh. I thought you need them for a bit.
Actually, you should listen. I know what you're saying.
No, I'm good.
You want to listen. It's beautiful. Listen, take in the art. We're here on New Jersey Revolution Radio. We're celebrating art and activism. This is revolutionary poetry, music. What do you call this? What do you say? Is this poetry?
Artivism.
Is this spoken word? Is this
artivism?
Artivism. I like that.
Artivism.
I didn't coin that. You know what I mean?
No. We had the Raptivist. Remember? Arts and Activism in New Brunswick. We got a new Arts and Activism coming up in Sicklerville, New Jersey. And at the last one we had the Raptivist. So I mean, what you do is really, really great for not only just what we talk about here on New Jersey Revolution Radio, arts and activism. I mean, that's what we are about here.
Do you want these back?
I want to hear. No, you can take them back. I can talk to Justice for just a quick second.
Sure.
Because I've been hanging out up there. I go up there every month.
Shout out Revolution Radio, Brian.
Yeah, man,
he comes up here, captures the footage. You can catch it live streaming.
Yep,
on Revolution Radio.
It's been little quick hits, but really, I go up there because we help sponsor and because I can do these little kind of videos that help Revolution Radio and stuff. But really, mostly I just go up there because I really enjoy the crowd, man, and the people. There are regulars there. People dip in and out to hop in on the spoken word. It's hit or miss with the spoken word
Ali.
on the open mic, right? But it's always entertaining.
Yeah,
it's always fun.
Gonna have somebody that surprises you, that leaves you with a memory.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to be a part of 360 Poetry Night. But it's 360, that complete, that holistic approach, like having every element, not being censored, bringing every element of poetry, poetry that's in motion, bringing dancers there, the deviators. Yeah. They made some great memories for people, but they had a purpose. They was bringing young people off the street and giving them something to do versus just being out here doing whatever they might be doing. They're going to practice, they're staying in school, they're dancing and perfected their craft through art, but also affecting the lives of people that need it. Like they don't have, a lot of people don't have parents in their home. So for somebody from the street to take kids off the street and channel that energy through art is what 360 is all about.
Great.
And we just had some great memories. Yeah. And I've just continued to strive to keep it going.
I love every one of them. I love going to them, and they do. Every one of them is a memory for me. Every artist creates a memory, and the warm reception that all the artists get. And like I said, you get varying talent when you have an open mic. You know what I'm saying? You get varying talent levels, various expressions of themselves.
And pure.
But sometimes the audience is always clapping and loving and having a drink, and it really is a very warm and friendly atmosphere.
Yeah. So we do that. Shout out to Benedict at La Rouge Lounge. I work with Benedict, and we keep that space open for a poetry show, in a place that we can have a good atmosphere and have fun, and also support a business that's rare downtown Newark. It's a Black-owned business. in a climate where there's not many, where it's a real struggle to
Mhm.
maintain, businesses and things. So I like being able to aim at a few causes in one swing.
Yeah.
So, and that leads me to something I got going on. 360 has going on. Everybody on March 21st, talking about that holistic approach. I work in mental health and wellness, substance abuse service provider. I work in the community. I'm about the trauma that we experience. That's near and dear to me because that's my lived experience as well. So we doing something, the Newark Arts and 360 Poetry Night. We teaming up to do a 360 special edition poetry night at the Newark Public Library on March 21st. And that's going to be focused on mental health and wellness. So it's going to be a wealth of artists as well. It's going to be Starsky and Roddy and Rob Hilton and Chant, and everybody there. It's going to be a whole bunch of people. But it's going to be a limited open mic. Email me when you see the flyer. But I just am proud and I'm thankful and I'm blessed to be able to be a part of the process,
Great. So we're going to bring in now a guy. Guess how many? We all know who's coming on. It's Zellie Thomas, and I'm getting him in studio right now. But I want to have a little trivia while I do my technical stuff here.
Okay.
How many Twitter followers do you think my man Zellie Thomas has now?
And I can't grab my
Twitter.
I can't grab my Twitter
Look at him all
now.
humble. Look at him all smile. Look at him. I had to put on my
I know
camera.
it's
Get my
way
Twitter
more
game
than
up,
mine.
Bro, could you help me get my Twitter game up, please? Come on, I'm coming to
Zellie.
you. Zellie,
I
help
got
me.
you.
Come on,
I got you.
All right.
How many? How many? Diane? Last time I checked, he had 60,000.
Oh my god!
And that's how long. I don't know how long ago it was.
Probably about
I'm not a
100. He
Twitter
cracked
guy.
100 by now.
120,000. He's got
Yeah, I figured
120,000 Twitter
He
followers.
doubled
my
up.
god!
And I seen him tweet, and he was bragging about this, so he can't be embarrassed because he bragged about it. But I thought it was fucking awesome. He tweeted some criticism of the Buttigieg campaign.
Okay.
And guess who calls him up on the phone?
Oh, who?
Who called you up, Zellie?
The Buttigieg people, man.
Wow.
The Buttigieg people. So everybody, I'll let you do the introductions, Diane. I'm gonna step off because of lack of headphones. No, this is yours. You can stay on and listen.
Yeah, because
Diane's gonna highlight Zellie for a little bit.
Talk about
you're
what
gonna come
Zellie's
back
doing
in
right
or
now.
whatever. It's her show because now I get to go upstairs and smoke up my anxiety. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I can't.
Wow. Yeah. My Twitter clout is nowhere.
After the show.
It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah. My Twitter. No.
Twitter
No.
ain't like that.
No, nothing like that. So I know everyone knows Zellie, including Buttigieg. And I think I saw something about Bloomberg. We could talk about that too.
Okay, definitely.
Everybody wants Zellie. But for our very few amount of viewers that might not know who Zellie is, which would be crazy. So Zellie is a community organizer and educator living in New Jersey. Most recently, Zellie has been organizing against anti-Black state violence with Black Lives Matter Patterson. He is also the co-founder of the Black Liberation Collective, a collective consisting of Black students who are dedicated to transforming institutions of higher education through unity, coalition building, direct action, political education, and that has initiated the hashtag student blackout movement across campuses in the United States and Canada. Did I get all that correct?
You got that all correct.
Yeah, you are.
Amazing.
You are always up to so much. But we'll get to the politics maybe a little bit later because maybe we'll even bring in Justice to talk about some general fights for justice and politics. But I want to hear, what have you been doing lately with this Black Liberation Collective and students?
Yeah, so recently I've been working a lot with a lot of Black college students across the country, trying to get them activated and empowered to tackle the systemic racism that's going on their various campuses. One of the things that a lot of administrators love to do, right, is when a racist incident occurs on a campus, whether it's a microaggression or some type of violent act, they like to make it seem like it's an isolated incident or something that's like individually based, right? So if a white frat member, you know, dresses up in blackface for Halloween, they just like to say that it's just an isolated incident, right? But it doesn't really talk about the culture of white supremacy, how it's pretty much ingrained in white frat culture or in college culture in general or white culture in general, how blackface is just so much accepted as the norm for so many people. So what we're trying to do is try to encourage folks to really push back against the idea that racism is an isolated event and that is more systemic, that when they look around, that the Black student population is still at an all-time low. The amount of Black faculty is probably at an all-time low as well. There's probably a lack of funding for Black student organizations and so on and so forth. So the Black students, the safety of Black students isn't just based on whether or not someone hangs a noose or does blackface. The safety of Black students really resides on the fact, are they providing the same amount of resources for them to excel in college and feel safe on college campuses.
And then it sounds like also then it's systemic, especially when administrations aren't taking these problems seriously.
Right. And that's what we're working on right now with Syracuse University. And
so,
for those,
I was going to say, in case people don't know what's been going on over there. So there's been a problem that started. Yeah. And when did it start about? I know it's been a ways back now.
It's been a ways back now. I would say at least two years that a series of racist incidences have occurred on the campus of Syracuse University with no resolution by the administration, right? Like nobody was ever caught. And obviously then, since no one's ever caught, no one's ever punished for these infractions. So in November, a group of students called the movement Not Again SU, because some more, like maybe like 3 or 4 racist incidents had occurred in around October, November with no resolution. So this Black-led student movement, they actually took over one of the campus buildings and staged like a sit-in. And they pretty much launched a sit-in for over a week, right? And he had an extensive list of demands, but the demands wasn't anything too crazy. It was just basically about, you know, we want you to be able to find these perpetrators, and anybody who is found to commit any hate crimes or race-based crimes on campus, they have to be immediately suspended. They also wanted more so diverse health counselors or mental health counselors on campus, because you feel more comfortable at times talking about you know, your trauma, your race-based trauma, with someone that looks like you or someone who has the same experiences with you. So these are some of the smaller demands that they had, but they had a longer list. And over the break, or before the break, the university conceded to the demands, so they stopped the sit-in. But last week, they started it again because the university hasn't followed through. The university still hasn't found any of the people, and they just was really lackadaisical with the demands. The university responded by suspending all the 30 students that was part of the sit-in movement. They gave them an interim suspension. They, at this point in time, what they did, the university, was when we tried to deliver the students food, they would not allow any food to be entered into the building. So they was essentially trying to starve them out. No medicine could get in, no sanitary, you know, toiletries could get in. They was really trying to dehumanize the kids and starve them out so that they could not sit in. And the students, they kept on going until the university was like, all right, sign this paper and we'll lift your suspensions if you guys promise never to protest ever again. And the kids was like, nah, we ain't signing that bullshit, you know? So they didn't sign it. And then it became such a big issue online and just with the faculty supporting the students that the chancellor had to say, all right, we're just going to lift the suspensions. We're just going to lift the suspensions and not suspend you at all. But here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker. this is how just shows how racist the university is.
Mm-hmm.
They sent suspension letters to black kids who was not even in the building.
Wow.
So black kids who was not even in the building during the sit-in, they received suspension letters. And then the university apologized. It was like, oh, we're sorry because when we was trying to match the pictures with IDs, we must have got you confused with someone else. So we're like, oh, so y'all profiling us, you know, like use the facial recognition to like falsely accuse us. So it's a real big mess, and I think the university opened themselves up for a huge lawsuit.
Yeah. So now it makes the problem that was huge to begin with a million times worse.
A million times worse.
Wow.
A million times worse, because they essentially literally tried to starve the kids out. When people try to sneak in food, the officers would literally throw the food onto the floor.
Wow.
Sounds like prison.
So it's basically like prison. They would not let them leave, and they wouldn't let anyone enter. Like they literally had armed police officers at all the exits and all the entrances.
And this is a university.
This is a university
of learning.
University penitentiary.
Right, expensive university penitentiary.
Wow. And so much for free speech.
So much for that, right?
Wow. So this is going to be ongoing.
This is literally ongoing. They're still staging a sit-in, even though their suspensions have been lifted. They did realize that even though it's been lifted, it's still on their record. So they're like, yo, how are you going to lift our suspensions, but then still have it on our records? That doesn't make any sense. So this is going to be a long issue, and they're going to fight it out. And what we're seeing right now across the country, that other students are being inspired by it, and they themselves are doing actions, or they themselves are putting messages of solidarity.
Great. Good. And how can people connect who aren't already connected to this movement? What is the best way to follow what's going on?
The best way to follow is look up Not Again SU.
Okay.
Hashtag Not Again SU. And then you'll be able to find articles, tweets from students, and even their official Twitter account or their official Instagram account. And I think today they even did a protest outside as well. So they are really, really not stopping at all. So if you can donate, whether it's monetary funds, whether it's toiletries, or anything you could donate, it'll be extremely helpful, because what they need to sustain the movement is finances, equipment, and love.
Absolutely. And who can they connect to for donations, monetary or food, toiletries?
Right. So if you look up the hashtag Not Again SU, you'll be able to find their official account. I think it is Not Again SU on Twitter as well. And they should have like a link for their GoFundMe there. Okay.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. And now we have universities racially profiling. It's bad enough that we have systemic institutional racism of the regular kind, which is horrible and needs to stop. But now we actually have them just blanket racial profiling students. It's like, oh, you're black and we think you might have been there, so we're going to suspend you? Is that what's happening?
That's what's happening now.
We think you might have been there. So
right, like students who are like, you know what? Students who are like, you know what? I don't want to go down there because I don't want to get suspended or arrested, and they still end up getting suspended.
Wow.
Just because they're black.
Okay, so it almost sounds like they need some serious undoing racism for the administration and perhaps faculty.
Yeah.
That might be a demand. I don't know. But,
it's a it should hopefully it'd be a wake-up call, for people that weren't educated, that didn't know that they were still black, that they were still viewed. Hopefully, those aren't lessons lost.
Yeah.
Because some people, really may be or may have a misunderstanding of who they are or what their place is or how their perception is based on where their class might appear to be, or their status socially might appear to be. But sometimes wake-up calls will always show you that in the eyes of some people, you're always, the guilty black, you know what I'm saying, person. That's ultimately, that's how we're going to be viewed currently, at least, and that's not to say that's who we are at all. Like, I don't want to be confused. Like, that's the opposite of who we are actually, but it's just that, living in a society, we have to be aware, because not being aware of these things can make you a target. Like, this is a time where the consequence wasn't really heavy, but there's times where that's a life or death decision. You know what I mean? So that's how I view it as well,
No, facts.
Yeah, a terrible wake-up call for so many students.
Wake up.
Marvin said it, man. Wake up. What did Marvin say? Hold on. Yeah, wake up.
Wake up, everybody.
That wasn't Marvin, though. My bad. That was actually Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we are not in a post-racial society yet.
Definitely not.
These incidents are
they're not even slowing up, and a lot of times people think that like racism was going to die away, but what we saw is that racism is just getting younger and more bolder, and it's a lot more frequent, and we see it even more because of cell phone footage and body camera footage being released, and we've seen the body camera footage of a 6-year-old girl being handcuffed in Florida. So like, racism is all around us, and people can no longer deny it. If you are colorblind, then you're just being blind to the injustice that's going on in the world.
Yeah, we have a long, long way to go, unfortunately, and it seems like that we're going backwards. And I don't think it's just Trump. Trump is
definitely
evil.
not.
Yeah, he's evil. He's racist.
Yeah,
but these people were already out there.
They're
maybe becoming a little bit more visible, a little bit more vocal, but the racism has been there. And
exactly.
Yeah. So I'm glad Justice can hear as well. Are you able to hear?
Yeah, I hear it through the headphones.
Okay, cool.
I also have it like connected to my phone for all my Facebook family.
Good.
Hey, yo, Facebook family, could y'all hear this through this? Let me know. Respond. Let me get a little call.
Now,
where did Brian
kind of
go?
moving things into politics, but before we even go there, I wanted to ask Zellie. I know he had an incredible run for city council in Patterson about 2 years ago.
Right.
You did really good and came really close to winning for, what was it, like 3 seats? Maybe there was, like 10 people running, or?
I want to say it was like around 10 or 12. I forget. There's a lot of people running.
You came in 4th with a really close count between you and the 3rd. So you were almost there. So I'm going to go there because this is the, politics are everywhere right now. Are you thinking of giving electoral politics another shot?
That's something I'm still honestly debating about electoral politics and how much I want to be involved in it going forward. Because it's a lot, and we know that it is a system that isn't designed to benefit oppressed people. It isn't designed to benefit marginalized people or poor people. So it is, for me, just really one person trying to change this entire system to benefit people is just like an uphill battle. And I don't want to be crushed by this machine. I'd rather, I think, find other ways to use my energy, use my resources and my skills to really benefit as much people as possible. In the final analysis, if that is electoral politics, then I may try again. But if it is maybe continue doing my grassroots organizing, my grassroots work, then I'll put all my energy into that if I feel that is the best way for social change.
And that, I like him because, that's very similar. You've always known how I am. I'm not electoral politics person. I don't look for my solutions there.
Mm-hmm.
And I do and I see a lot. I have a lot of friends that are, that they believe in the same values I believe in: freedom, justice, equality, humanity. But they believe in the system as well because they came from a different walk of life, maybe, or a different education than me. And I just always plead with them because I'm like, yo, you're fucking genius. Your resources, this dedication that you have would be so much more effective if it was a direct service to people. Because we live in an era where we can do that now. We can actually cut the middleman out. We could create we could create nonprofits. We could create. There's so much that we can do that can actually have an effect,
a direct effect,
on the effect without going through the bureaucracy. And because it's, at the end of the day, it's money. Money is gonna be people's ability. So I mean, we got to fight it on all fronts. So I really support all my fighters. But I like view because I don't, like the electoral politics is not something extremely serious.
You know what too really influenced my thought process, Diane?
I always laugh because I pay attention to it. Like I'm really have a dog in the race or something because I actually kind of entertaining, like almost like sports, but I do find it educational, to check to study it. And understand it,
but we feel so hopeless at times. So I can see that and we know that whatever Zellie's doing, he's doing 200%, just like you, Justice.
Yes.
That you're doing good works, no matter whether it be electoral or organizing. I don't know how you do so much. And then you've got what is that Twitter account? What is that Twitter account again?
You got that village following them.
Yeah, I think you have a couple nations following you. I don't know. Which I'm curious. Can we talk about? Did Buttigieg? Did they offer you a job? Did they want you to do social media?
No, Buttigieg didn't want me. Didn't want a job. They just wanted me. They want to get you on a couple of different talks. Like we had maybe like 2 or 3 phone conversations over the phone, and I think they wanted me to like collaborate with them with like the students that I work with and set up like something. But Bloomberg's people wanted me though. Bloomberg's people wanted me. They literally wanted me to work for them. And I was like, nah, I'm not working for you guys.
So you were going to be one of those high-paid influencers, right?
I was going to be one of those high-paid influencers or one of those people clapping at the debate for him.
I guess it wasn't high enough.
Why don't you? I think you should take it and take the money and then give it to the kids in Syracuse.
I literally been hearing people actually do that though. Like people are literally been taking his job and still like texting other people. Like, nah, actually, even though I work for Bloomberg, vote for Bernie.
Oh, hang on one second. Did your headset go out?
It did, yes.
Oh.
Let me get a headset.
Which? Oh, here.
What happened? I don't know. What happened?
Here,
Actually,
you can.
You know what? We should be wrapping up anyway.
Okay,
so
you could fiddle with this.
Okay.
Okay, while we're still. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
We were having some audio problem.
Okay.
So some people were doing the Bloomberg and they're giving the money to Bernie.
No, they getting paid to Bloomberg. Like the texting, the phone banking, and then even though they're saying like, "Hey, I'm working for Bloomberg, but still work for Bernie," texting them.
Oh yeah, they'll go and follow up and say, "But you should vote for Bernie."
But you should vote for Bernie.
Well, I think you should consider doing it, and maybe
I would never.
Putting hashtag not again SU everywhere and hashtag student blackout. No, but then you'll associate Bloomberg with that, and we don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that Bloomberg.
No. Should I ask you, Injustice, what are your thoughts on Bloomberg?
I think he should come to Newark.
You're giving him an open invite?
Come through.
He might call you now, though.
I think he should come to Newark. I think he should come face the community. He's from Newark, but he got a lot of the people without addresses. They came to Newark. Come explain why that was happening.
What was that?
The people that they call homeless, the people without addresses.
Right.
He had a lot of people coming to Newark. I want him to explain that. What that was about.
Oh, when they were relocating homeless people from New York.
Yeah, were they busing? Weren't they just recently doing that though? Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Come here,
yeah.
Answer that.
I mean,
that's what I'm. This is like current.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
like what historical.
Is he?
Yeah, he come explain.
Yeah.
Come to Newark. I'm just saying. I was telling him to come to Newark, and I gave him a reason to.
Yeah.
You could explain that shit. Why were they busing? Why were there tons of people from New York, from your city, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
Coming to Newark.
Mike Bloomberg is not going to come to New Jersey and get in front of a crowd.
He's not.
That's going to ask him questions that he have not.
How you want to be president?
He's not going to answer no questions.
This was the model, man. You only get in a room unless you're allowed in the room.
Nah, you can't be able to be president if you can't talk to the residents.
He agrees with me. So I can see that. Yeah.
You hear me?
You don't get
no talk to the residents.
You're not getting in that room.
That's not how it works anymore.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
No.
Nah, man.
That's not how it works.
No.
That's a shame.
You get $1,700 to clap and cheer loudly.
No.
That's it.
And
how much does
boo on cue,
what we
right?
doing?
Right, boo on cue.
I need your
on
headphones
cue.
back because I close out the show and I got to hear my music and I got to time things and do stuff.
It's crazy down here.
Okay.
It's crazy down here. It's going crazy.
Okay, so we're all saying no to Bloomberg.
We're saying no to Bloomberg.
Don't call us.
Don't call me.
Robocalls.
Don't call. Stop.
I've been getting robocalls.
Stop messaging Zellie.
I don't get them. I can't vote. I'm still.
Oh, you're still.
No, you can now. In New Jersey, you can,
just
right?
Don't tell them about. I don't want to vote. I like that. I like that.
He doesn't want to be on any list.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's just between you, me.
Now you're gonna get all these text messages now.
Shit, they call it a conviction. I call it a perk. I don't have to get robocalls.
Did you vote against that?
Obligation.
Did you vote against that law allowing you to vote?
Listen, I supported it.
You supported it, but you didn't vote for it?
I supported it because some of my people worked on it, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Gail Muhammad. Shout out Ron Pierce.
Got it.
I worked on that bill. Those are colleagues of mine, actually. The New Jersey Institute.
That's true. New
Jersey Institute. Yeah.
Who else? I'm forgetting people, but I have colleagues that worked on it. The ACLU.
Yeah.
You know, I have plenty of colleagues that I don't think exactly like. Don't you?
Well, what
isn't that normal?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And sometimes
I'm sorry. I'm over.
We have to work together.
Am I a tyrant?
No. We got to work together on the issues we can work together on.
Right.
Are there any pending legislative issues we should be following right now in regards to justice, racial justice, and if there's not,
well, I know that
what do we need to do?
Well,
in New Jersey,
that's a great question.
Everything, tons of.
I mean, to a lot of people, a lot of grassroots organizations, you know, American Friends, New Jersey Cake, the Campaign for Alternatives to Isolated Confinement, Gail Muhammad, Women Who Never Give Up, you know, American Friends. I don't know if I mentioned them. This has been a ton of people, right? They've been working on. So there's been a ton of what they call criminal justice reform bills.
Okay. So there's some pending criminal justice reform bills now.
The governor has signed several bills.
Okay.
The Dignity Act.
Okay.
The Isolated Restricted Confinement Act. The
which needs to go further, though. Correct.
Well, I mean, I want it abolished, so it's never going to go far enough for me.
Okay.
You're asking
but
me.
I thought there were a lot of restrictions that a lot of concessions were made, so there's only it might just be certain people with mental illness, but otherwise
let me say this and I can say this like firsthand and in all reality. You know what I mean? It was the biggest criminal justice reform bill signed in the United States of America. All right, so I'm not gonna say I'll never really probably be satisfied with. I want it abolished, right?
Yeah.
That's my personal.
Yeah.
But aside from how I personally think, I still work on legislation that will tear down or weaken, right? So the bill, vulnerable people, people that 65 or older, 25 or younger, people that, have a serious medical issues.
Yeah.
People that have mental health challenges who've been diagnosed with that, pregnant women, they can't even go to isolated confinement. The torture itself, they can't even be subject to.
Yeah.
And people that's in general population that don't qualify, aren't a vulnerable group, quote unquote. They still they can only go there for 20 days maximum. So it used the United Nations definition of torture is 15 days.
Okay.
Right. Anything beyond 15 days has been scientifically and proven to have the effects on the brain. It starts to take effect, right? However, what they were doing was 300 days, but 365 days. You could get 365 days for one charge.
Solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement, right? Yeah. That's the maximum on one disciplinary infraction. That's what it's been forever. So this bill makes it 20 days
for everybody.
For anybody.
Okay.
That's the max.
The max for anyone.
And that was what you could call there wasn't, like I said, the bill was written by some grassroots people. Amos Kelly.
Woodward.
He's from New Jersey. Cake. Amos. He's at the church.
I think we've met. Yeah.
Okay.
Amos. Trust me. I believe. Associate pastor at the Reformed Church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But he Alex, the ACLU.
Okay.
They were there, writing the bill actually.
Okay.
So.
We all have to start doing that more. Get directly involved with bills and legislation.
And then legislators came.
Yeah.
Lesniak came.
Okay.
And wanted to be attached to the bill, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But we was able to get that bill passed. Okay. And since then, there's been a real big wave of other,
criminal
courts.
Justice.
Around the nation. Like New Jersey, I can actually say I've been out of state to speak on this.
Good.
I can actually say that we're a leader in criminal justice reform. We're getting things done within this state, but I ain't come to talk about that. Like, I should be talking about 360 Poetry Night.
We talked about it. Osgood, don't worry. I'm going to talk about it again before we go.
Meet the artists.
But we have to give. We are running out of time, and we have to give. Zellie's got stuff to plug.
Oh, Zellie.
We'll get back. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you.
He always
we gotta let Zellie's a very important guy. He's got a tweet, and he's got hundreds of thousands of people waiting. They get antsy.
I don't have no. You know how many Twitter followers I have?
Huh? How many you got?
Zero.
No, I saw it.
So
that's why I didn't mention it.
I
didn't bring it up.
I suck.
Yeah.
You do wonderful. I'm gonna talk about how wonderful you are, but we got to give Zellie a chance to hop on here before we go.
So Zellie, closing thoughts and compelling things you need to tell our listeners.
Yeah, I would just say that I'll probably speaking to the choir. This is Revolution Radio, right? That is not a lot of people out here.
My grandma listens. My grandma listens.
So people have to understand that that we're not free unless we're all free. So we cannot just sit and watch other people go through their experiences of oppression and sit there silently and not offer any type of solidarity or any type of help to them. If you don't have the money or finances to do it, we're not always asking you for money or finances, but simple retweet, simple reshare, anything to amplify the struggle that other people are going through is so helpful to the movement. Like I just was on Twitter and seen like students at University of Oklahoma, they're doing like a sit-in movement right now. So like I said before, it's going on all across the country. And what happens is the administration, they try to keep it under wraps. Local media tries to keep it under wraps. So our tool as revolutionaries and radicals is social media. That's our alternative media. This is our way to get our message out, our stories out. And in order to get our stories out even more, we have to share each other's work.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Absolutely.
We're doing our sharing.
And I love the saying, be your own media. We can all be media.
Absolutely.
With our Facebook live stream.
That's where we pull our stuff from here. That's how, you all educate us.
Be
honestly.
the media.
You know,
Right.
Zellie streaming something,
Mhm.
you know, hooking up with Justice and 360 night.
Yep.
You know, the work I've done with Diane and the Green Party, XR, you
Mhm.
name it, has all been connections through social media.
Yep.
Everything. I mean, if Facebook didn't exist, I wouldn't be an activist. I don't know what the fuck I would be. I don't know.
All right.
Have it, but
Yeah.
I want to get back. I want our sponsors,
Okay.
like I mentioned, 360 Poetry Night.
Yep.
The next event coming up in Newark, March 21st,
March
2 to 5.
21st.
Go. You got 30 more seconds. Tell us
Yeah.
all about it.
All right. Well, I mean, we just got a dozen dope artists from Rob Hilton to I don't know who else, man. Shayna to Nelly Best to Chant. She's so Nook. I mean, shout out. You know, I'll be back in LaRouge in April. We're gonna be doing it big, man. We're gonna set it off with some great artists. We got the Orange. We're gonna be in Orange, coming back to Orange soon. And we're doing a Meet the Artist series, man. My man Tayshawn. Shout out Tayshawn Starsky. He's the curator and he's asking the questions that matter. So I mean, just look out for 360 Poetry Night. You know, share it. But most importantly, look, we got Roddy, we got Starsky, we got Nelly, we got Rob Hilton, we got Suleiman gonna be do live painting. We got my man Dr. O, the black chiropractor. We gonna have his chair out. We got somebody,
nice.
Luminosity. She's gonna be doing facials. This is for mental health and wellness. Words of wellness, man, like the power that we have with our words to explore ideas, to express ourselves, to talk about the issues that's going on. I mean, this is a vehicle. The voice is a vehicle. So join us. It's no admission. This is a 360 Poetry Night special event. Got the flyers up.
Nice.
Love it. Share it. Sharing is caring.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Looks
Diane,
great.
Events.
Well, I'm gonna
I gotta look
pitch Margaret Kimberly's book again. I
Oh,
think we just have to constantly.
yeah, great book.
Our dear friend Margaret Kimberly's book came out the beginning of this month. It is the title is Prejudential: Black America and the Presidents. You can get the book anywhere online at wherever you usually shop. I know it's also at the Strand bookstore, which might be a little bit closer to quasi-independent, but get the book today. It gives every section of the book is a different president going throughout where we are from the very beginning to the asshole in the White House right now, every single one of them. And she does a great job of doing these snapshots. It's a must read. It's absolute must read.
Black
So that's
America and the Presidents is the name. The full name.
The main title: Prejudential: Black America and the Presidents. Margaret Kimberly. It's a must read.
KRS-One said a line. This just reminds me. He said something. Man, it was like the early '90s. This is like my favorite. But he said, "Every president we ever had lied." He said something else after that. I'm not gonna say it, but he said every president we ever had lied, and I'm like, damn, that's just like some real shit. You know, like
that's basically that's a good synopsis of this book, but it gets into worse things than lying. I can tell you.
She shows it. I'm
and
sure.
pretty much most of them were racist,
murderers,
slave owners,
murderers,
evil. We need
they
to.
They weren't our friends.
Not at all. Not at all.
I wouldn't. No, not really. All right.
We have to start getting real history in the schools, and I think we need to start in kindergarten and elementary school.
I'm a start curriculum.
Belly.
We could get into so much. We could get into so much, but we got it. We got to go. Because we got things to do. All right, so we want to remind everybody the August Agency.
Yes.
The August Agency. Those are QuickBooks here. We're terrible capitalists at New Jersey Revolution Radio. So my man Charlie, who's a great immigrants' rights activist and a comrade, and comrades need to support other comrades' businesses.
Absolutely.
How many fucking comrades do you know that are good at math and QuickBooks? Call Charlie, all right?
Absolutely.
Hook the man up. He's a really great guy, and the August Agency can be reached. Their number is coming up on the scroll, so I'm talking a little bit long. 201-895-7227 www.theaugustagency.biz. I'll say that one more time. 201-895-7227. theaugustagency.biz. And until next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, when we start streaming again on YouTube and on Twitter and on Facebook and all over the place, this is Brian Powers. And I want to remind everybody that the police can quit their jobs.
Yes.
Yes.
Facts.
And
I
go
second that
follow
thought.
Zellie on Twitter because he needs to
One
reach
more
a
follower.
million people.
Give him $1 million a night. That's what he's up. That's his bar now.
Oh, we're
No,
okay.
nice meeting you,
$1
bro.
million tonight.
That's me and you too, brother. Power.
Great show, guys.
I'm gonna try to open a Twitter account so I could become, what do you call it when you're friends on Twitter?
What do? You follow.
You follow. I'll become a follower.
Followers.
Yeah.
You'll follow, and they'll follow you. So I'll follow you. You follow me, and we'll each have.
All right.
Not anywhere near what
I'm from
Zellie
Newark.
has.
I'm from Newark. Follow
you
me. Follow me. Wait with that.
Okay. Great show, guys.
You sign off.
And I will see you in the streets.
There you
See
go.
you in the street.
Good night, everybody. See you next week.
I'll see you somewhere. I don't know if I'll be in the street with Diane.
Good night, Zellie. Thanks, man.
All right, brother.
Peace, y'all.
Okay.
Hang on.